everybody, and welcome back to Yoho Blogger's Life for Me cooking series. And this week we are going to make a recipe from the old restaurant that is no longer. If you remember at Epcot a long time ago, before Tutto Italia, there was Alfredo di Roma. And basically everyone called it Alfredo's, and when you would walk in they had a guy making fresh pasta all day, which was pretty cool. The very first time I actually had Italian food was at that restaurant, and I actually cut my pasta and all the waiters were gasping and yelling at me because I was cutting the pasta that took so much work to make. And they showed me how to correctly eat pasta. I was a pretty picky eater, and my mom's a pretty picky eater, so she never made pasta or anything. And all you're gonna need for this is 1 pound of fresh fettuccine noodles, but I just used the fettuccines from the box. You'll also need 4 quarts of boiling salt water, 1 cup of salted plugra butter, softened. It's actually just plugra is a butter in higher fat content, so I find it at Wegmans. I've seen it at Target. They had it at my grocery store, Giant and Martin's chain. You can basically find this at a lot of different places. It just has a higher fat content, and I have made this recipe with regular butter versus the plugra butter, and it is definitely better with the plugra butter. And the last thing you're going to need is 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup. It says to use Emilia brand Parmigiano Reggiano, freshly grated, and it says if you can't find that brand, any Reggiano Parmesan will do. And I normally use 1/2 cup because I like a lot of cheese, and I'll shred some extra cheese to put on top because I absolutely love cheese. And that is it for the recipe. I'll be back in 1 second to show you how to make the sauce. Okay everybody, I'm heating up some water so I can throw in my box of fettuccine, and the first thing you need to do for the sauce is you're going to melt the plugra butter over low heat, and that might take a while. So I'm just going to throw that in there, and that's probably going to take a while, so I will be back after that's melted and give you the next step. Okay, my plugra butter is all melted, and the next step we're going to do is whisk in grated Parmesan cheese. Continue whisking over a low heat until the cheese melts and the butter and cheese sauce becomes a creamy consistency. This is incredibly quick and easy to make. I love to make this 1 or 2 times a year. Not too many times because this is so rich and full of calories. It's great for a special occasion for somebody who loves Italian food, especially Alfredo. And a quick tip, if you miss the Alfredo di Roma, you can go to Rockefeller Center in New York City, and they actually have that restaurant there. I went quite a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, with my husband right before we got engaged. And we actually ate there, and I got the Alfredo, of course, and it tasted the exact same like it did in Epcot. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do here, I have my fettuccine, my pound of fettuccine right here, and I just drained it. And this is my yummy cheesy sauce, and you're just gonna you're gonna get a pair of tongs, and that's how I like to do it. And you're gonna toss it real well. We're just going to throw all that in there. And you just want to make sure you get all of the noodles coated. And this does reheat well. It just gets a little oily because of the butter and cheese, so you just need to make sure when you reheat it in a bowl. And I think all of my noodles are coated. Let me go get a bowl and I can show you the final product. I will have all the links down below so you can stay in contact with me. See you next time and have a Disney week.